Hello and welcome to the 14 awards that I'm going to present for the 30 years of cricket that I have been involved in from 1986 up until the winter of 2015-16. So that's covering 347 test matches. Now they're all going to be England based except one award which is for a foreign event in that 30 years. So the award for the highest score in that period goes to Graham Gooch. He got 333 against India at Lord's in 1990. I was at that match, but I was there on the Saturday. Gooch was out on the Friday. So that was obviously the most famous innings at Lord's. He was dropped on 36 by Kieran Moray, but he went on to achieve the magical 333. And obviously, I think we all love that delicious symmetry of 333. And in fact, in Wisden in 1991, it just happened to be recorded on page 333. Lovely little delicious coincidence there. In terms of the most valuable innings for an England player for the 30 years, I think without a doubt it has to be Graham Gooch's 154 not out against the West Indies in 1991 on a cold, grey, miserable day at Headingley against a pace attack consisting of Curtly Ambrose and Malcolm Marshall, amongst others. No one really scored more than 30, if I remember correctly, on the England side in that second innings, and he held the innings together. And I think, without a doubt, that has to be the most valuable innings. What a performance that was. And England went on to win that test match and draw that series 2-2. Fantastic player and fantastic performance. In terms of the most entertaining innings throughout the 30-year period, we have to come all the way probably to the end of the 30-year cycle to see Ben Stokes 258 at Cape Town. I watched that on New Year's Day, or the 2nd of January this year, 2016, and I can tell you I have not seen an innings like that. Clean hitting. It was fantastic to watch, and we hope that Ben Stokes has a bright future ahead and continues to play in that way. If we go now into the bowling awards, the best bowling obviously is Devon Malcolm, 9 for 57 at the Oval against South Africa. And legend has it when he got hit on the head on his helmet, he said, "You guys are history," and well, the rest is history. What a performance that was. I watched that on a Saturday afternoon at home. I was 15, and I've never seen such bowling before. It was brilliant. It was a great team performance as well. But that innings, that bowling display was fantastic. In terms of the most valuable bowling display, I've gone for Dominic Cork, 7 for 43 against the West Indies at Lord's in 1995. Second innings, last day, and he got 7 for 43, and he was on debut. And England beat West Indies at Lord's. England don't usually do well at Lord's, and to do that, I think was a great achievement. The most entertaining bowling display, I'm going to go for that over in the Ashes of 05 at Old Trafford. Edgbaston, I think it was, not Old Trafford, Edgbaston, when Flintoff bowled that 7-ball over. He bowled a no-ball to Ricky Ponting. He got Ricky Ponting out for a duck, and he got a wicket right at the beginning of the over as well. The whole crowd was cheering him on. You could just hear it. I was watching on TV, but the whole atmosphere was just electric. You won't get that kind of display again. And Flintoff carried the nation, and he never did it more so in those 7 deliveries. It was just fantastic to watch, and loved every bit of it. The best catch, I'm going to go for someone that you may not have seen. It was John Crawley at Old Trafford in 1995. He was skirting sort of the boundary, and he took this two-handed, wonderful catch right at the boundary edge. And to me, that is the best catch, I think. Some people may argue with that, but I honestly think that was the amount of ground he made, and to get it two-handed, I think deserves extra credit. If we go now on to the most controversial moment, I think it has to be Mike Atherton in 1994 with the dirt in his pocket. He put the dirt on the ball from his pocket on the Saturday. I was at the ground on the Sunday. I was also at the ground on the Thursday, but I was there on the Sunday. It was against South Africa, and it was such an event because it was South Africa's first ever test back at headquarters after 20 odd years in the wilderness after being banned due to apartheid, and people forgot about that with the Atherton issue. I just say this: Arthur didn't put dirt on the ball. There's not actually cheating. He didn't actually cheat. What he didn't do is tell the whole truth of what was in his pocket at the meeting with the ICC referee. That's the only mistake he made. He did not alter the condition of the ball, and it's fine. You're absolutely allowed within the rules to pick up dirt from the ground and rub it on the ball. No problem at all. He just did it via his pocket, which was maybe a bit naive, and especially at that era when ball tampering was at the front of everything. It was a huge storm in a teacup, but yes, I'll still call it the most controversial. The most shocking moment from an individual perspective was my hero David Gower. It was a few last over before lunch, and the Australians, this is Adelaide 1990-91, they were bowling down the leg side and he kept flicking it. And the commentators, if you hear Bill Lawry and Tony Gregg saying, "What is he doing? It's last over before lunch, why does he keep doing this?" And the very last ball, Merv Hughes bowled it down the leg side. Sorry, Craig McDermott bowled it down the leg side, and Gower fell for the trap. And it's best I don't describe what Graham Gooch was thinking, feeling, or looking like at that time. But I think that probably sealed David Gower's career. The most shocking moment, I think, on a team perspective, is England's 46 all out. I remember watching that on Sky Sports. It was 14-15, and England had to get 194. It was the last hour on probably the fourth day. It was the fourth day, Trinidad, and Curtly Ambrose came steaming in and absolutely destroyed England. I've never seen something as shocking as that. And yes, entertaining, but that's from a West Indies perspective. All these awards are from an English perspective, so I'm afraid it's going to be the most shocking moment from a team perspective. And then my champagne moment, I'm obviously going to be a little bit biased here, is Old Trafford 1992, when David Gower was recalled to the England side after a 18-month break, and he went on to be Jeff Boycott's run at cricket. He lost the record a year later to Graham Gooch, but he stroked it for four, and the applause for David was immense, and it was just a nice champagne moment, I think, and he deserved that after a 14-year career. He should have gone on to score more runs, but it wasn't to be. The next award, number 12, is the most valuable player in the 30-year cycle that I'm talking about. And I'm going to go for a man who has had to captain England, and I think he did it very well, and I think he was unfairly dismissed in 1999. He also kept wicket. He also was a nomad through the batting order, batting between opening and even as low as 7, which I think is just shocking that he ever had to come in at number 7. And he did it without complaining. He's also extremely polite when you meet him, on the occasions I have, very gentlemanly, and he's not had any controversy around him. There was a slight issue about match fixing in 2000, but that was just absolute rubbish. He had nothing to do with it. So I'm not even going to count that. And he's behaved himself impeccably both on and off the pitch, and I think he's a great ambassador for the game. So my most valuable player, the fact that he bats anywhere in the order, keeps wicket, captains, and has acted like a gentleman, goes to Alex Stewart. My most favourite Test match from the 30-year cycle, I would say, was England versus India at Lords in 1990. So you had the Graham Gooch 2 centuries. You had Shastri and Azharuddin playing a blitz. I saw that. I was at the ground on Saturday, 1990. I was 11 years old. Kapil Dev's 4 sixes. And then it sort of capped it off when Graham Gooch ran out, the last person to win the match. And Graham Gooch never runs out anyone, so it really was his match. And I think that just that whole event, that whole spectacle, those 5 days, I think was just thoroughly entertaining cricket, which is the way it should be played. And my last award goes to a foreign, it has to be a foreign award, and I'm going to do it for 2 series which really captured the imagination for me. 1998-99, Australia versus West Indies. In the West Indies, you had to see it to believe it. It was 2-2, and Steve Waugh had just taken over as captaincy. Lara was about to be sacked as captain, but he stayed on, and he played that innings in Barbados when he got 153. Australia batted first. They got above 400. West Indies in the first innings were 98 for 6. I still remember this. I should have been studying for my second year uni exams. but I wasn't. And I watched this, and Lara in the fourth innings scored 153. They were chasing 300 and some in the fourth innings, and in those days, scoring anything above 300 was an event, was a task. And he played the most magical innings I've ever seen, and it was fantastic. And my other series is 2000-2001, again involving Australia versus India, and it was Calcutta when India were following on, and I didn't watch this live, I watched it on the internet, didn't have the required channel, and Dravid and Lakshman put on 376 in the second innings whilst following on, and India went on to win and bowl Australia out in the fourth innings. It was a fantastic time, and those two series, I'm to say, from a foreign perspective, were my best. So I'm going to share that award, the number 14th award. So that's 14 awards. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please go on YouTube and look at them, and let's now look forward to more awards, more fun, more players to crown, more series to cherish in the next 30 years. Thank you, over and out.